Right, welcome back to German with John Berlin. Today we are picking up a very interesting exercise to practice prepositions. That is how to say in German home and house. What is the difference between home and house? Let's have a look. So the idea is when you say house, it's just the structure, the brick, the walls, the complete structure. That's called das Haus. But when you call home, it's a place where you live. And it's not a noun. In German, it's an adverb. It means Hause. Yes? Genau, that's the adverb in German. Now, basically, if you want to say at my home, how can you say at my home with an adverb? The adverb, I'll tell you, it is, let's have a look here. So, Hause is the adverb. Yes, you can write it with a small h. Hause is an adverb. And as I mentioned, house is a noun, das Haus. So before we move forward to understand how to use Hause and house, let's find out what is the logic behind Hause and house. Now, when you say Hause, it is in relation to a person and his home. That is the place where you live, yes? When you say house, das Haus, it is when it's exclusively about the house. Yes, you're talking exclusively about the house. Just like in regards to something else, not yourself. Yes, like let's say it's cold in the house, the cat is in the house, there's a stranger who entered the house, who's come in the house, then all these things, it'll be house. But when you're talking about yourself and your place, you'll be talking about home. Now the thing is, when it comes to home, Hause, it gets a little tricky to understand how to say my home, how to say going to my home, yes, also how to say at home, to home, or from home. These are all the variations you need to learn. Now in German, if it would have been a noun, it would have been easy to say my home and to my home, but it's an adverb, so it becomes a little tricky. Let's find out. So let's begin with this. Now, had it been a noun, you could have said at my home would be zu meinem Haus. But this is not the case. In German, house is not home. House is house. So we need to say home. So if we say Hause, which is an adverb, we can't really use a possessive pronoun with an adverb. To use a possessive pronoun, we need a noun. So this goes out of picture. We can't say it like this. So how can we say it instead? Let's find out. And let's go up for a little moment. Let's find out how to say at home first. At home is zu Hause. Okay. So ich bin zu Hause. I am at home. How to say I'm going to home? Ich gehe nach Hause. Going to home. How to say I'm coming from home? Ich komme von zu Hause. Coming from home. Yes. Now, since we know at home is zu Hause, going to home is nach Hause, let's understand how to say my home. My home would be at my place at home. At my place at home could be interpreted like my home. So if you want to say let's meet at my home, it'll be treffen wir uns bei mir zu Hause. At my place at home. Now if you want to say let's go to my place, then you could say like we said here, nach Hause. So you'll say gehen wir zu mir, to my place, nach Hause. Yes, to my place, to home. Yes, zu mir, nach Hause. So this is a little complicated. We'll practice this when we do the exercises. Now, in simple words, if you simply want to say I'm at someone's place, you could say bei Mark. Ich bin bei Mark. Or bei ihm, I'm at his place. I'm going to Mark. Ich gehe zu Mark. Or zu ihm. Yes, going to his place. Now, exclusively talking about the house without reference to ourselves, there is a cat in the house. Es gibt eine Katze in dem Haus. Yes. Now you say a man comes in the house. Ein Mann kommt in das Haus. Person comes in the house. Yes. So with these little tips and tricks, let's attempt these questions. So first is, gibt es was zu trinken? Is there anything to drink at home? How to say at home? It's zu Hause. So let's write down here, zu Hause. Yes. Okay. Wir machen Party dash mir zu Hause. So we do a party at my place at home. So how do I say at my place at home? It's like at my home. Wo machen wir Party? At my place at home. So bei mir zu Hause. Yes, so it'll be bei mir zu Hause. Gehen wir doch zu mir dash. So we go to my home, or we go to my place to home. Yes, or simply we go to my home. So what is to my home? We learned it zu mir, to my place. Nach Hause, to home. So it'll be zu mir nach Hause. Very good. Yes. Wegen der Klimaanlage war es zu kalt dash. Because of the air conditioner, it was too cold in the house. So we say in the house. Yes. So basically now we're talking about house, not home. So we'll say in the houses, in dem Haus. We'll write here, in dem Haus, or we could write it together like im Haus. Yes. Okay, meine Eltern sind ganz süß. Sie laden mich zu mittags immer dash ihnen. So they always invite me to themselves. So basically, just like to Mark's place, to themselves would be zu ihnen. So we'll write here, zu ihnen. Very good. Yes. Okay, just a little space here. Der Rauber ist durch Balkontür dash gekommen. The robber has come through the balcony door. Now we're talking about the robber coming in the house. Yes, so we'll say go in the house, in the houses, in das Haus. So we'll write here, in das Haus. We could write it together as well like ins Haus. Very good. Wir verbringen nie einen Urlaub dash. We spend never a holiday at home. So at home could be zu Hause. Let's write zu Hause. Yes, fantastic. Aus Liebe ist dash ihr eingezogen. Out of love. Yes, he has shifted to her place. So to her place would be like to. Yes, zu. So it'll be zu ihr. Let's write here, zu ihr. Very good. Mark kommt gegen Mittag dash. Mark comes around afternoon to home. So how do we say to home? It's basically here, nach Hause. So we'll say nach Hause. Very good. Okay, als ein Geschäftsmann bin ich selten dash. As a businessman, I am seldom at home. What is at home? Zu Hause. So let's write here, zu Hause. Fantastic. Okay, unser Katze ist nie dash. Our cat is never in the home. Sorry, we never say home for a cat. It'll basically be house. Yes. So home is exclusively for people, but that doesn't mean we don't love our pets. Yes, of course, love them. So unser Katze ist nie. It'll be wo, in the house, in the houses, in dem Haus. So let's write nie in dem Haus, or we could write it together like im Haus. So in is a Wechsel preposition, and when the question is wo, it becomes dative. That's why we write in dem. So im Haus. Man muss Fremde nie dash lassen. One must never allow strangers in the house. Yes, to come in the house. So it's in das Haus. So basically we'll write here, in das Haus. Okay, now the meaning here is implied that we let them in the house. So that's why it's Akkusativ. Wohin lassen wir die Fremde nie? In das Haus. So we could write this together as ins Haus. Okay, John let Maria zu sich dash ein. John invites Maria to his home. So how do we say to his home? It's to my home is zu mir nach Hause. To his home is zu sich nach Hause. Yeah. Perfect. So it's implied he's inviting to his home. So it's nach Hause. Morgen lernen wir Mathe dash Hannah. Tomorrow we learn mathematics at or by Hannah's place or at the place of Hannah. So basically by Marka's place. Yes. By Mark's place is here. We need to say Hannah. So it'll be by Hannah. Yeah. So we'll write here by Hannah. That means at the place of Hannah, at Hannah's house. Mark kommt täglich 17 Uhr, 17 Uhr to home. That's nach Hause. Yes, let's write here, nach Hause. Ich bin den ganzen Tag at home. At home is zu Hause, so we'll write zu Hause. Perfect. Nach der Arbeit kannst du dash mir kommen. After work, you can come to my place. So to my place would be like to Mark's place, to my place, zu mir. Yeah, we could write zu mir. Okay. You could even say to my home. If you want to say to my home, you could say zu mir nach Hause. Yes? Okay. So zu mir is to my place, zu mir nach Hause is to my home. Yes? Okay, sollen wir dash mir zu Abend essen? So should we eat at my place for the evening? So wo essen wir? Basically by my place. At my place would be just like by Mark. You'll say by mir. So it'll be by mir. Now if you want to say instead of at my place, you want to say at my home, you could say bei mir. At my home would become bei mir zu Hause. You could write bei mir zu Hause. Ja? Es ist schön hier in unserem Garten. Es ist schön hier in unserem Garten. Wir gehen jetzt besser, aber wir gehen jetzt besser dash, denn ist es kalt geworden. Drinnen ist es wärmer. So it is beautiful here in our garden, but we go better in the house because it is cold. It has become cold. Inside it is warmer. Yes, so we go inside the house. We go now literally in the house. So now we can't really say nach Hause, to home. It's when you're basically going to home, but now you're already home. You're just going in the house, entering the structure. So you'll emphasize on that. And how is it to go in the house? It's in das Haus. So you'll say jetzt besser in das Haus, or we could write in das together and say ins Haus. Petra ist im Krankenhaus. Heute Nachmittag will ich dash ihr gehen, denn ich habe sie noch nicht besucht. Petra is in the hospital today afternoon. I want to go to her place because I have not seen her, because I have still not visited her. Now to her place would be like to Mark's place, to Petra's place would be zu ihr, to her place. Yes? Okay, zu ihr, wherever she is, she's in the Krankenhaus, so to her place in the hospital. Das Kind isst jeden Tag dash seinen Großeltern zu Mittag, weil seine Eltern bis nachmittags arbeiten müssen. So that child eats every day at the place of his grandparents for afternoon, because his parents must work till afternoon. Yes, so let's find out. By his parents, by his grandparents would be just like by Mark's place. It will be by ihm, so it will be by seinen Großeltern. Ein Verdächtiger blickte von der Straße aus durch das Fenster. A suspicious man sees from the street through the window in the house. So in the house is in das Haus. Let's write ins Haus. Yes? Okay, we write it together. Fantastic. So thanks for joining me for this very interesting lesson. I would say revise it again. Do these questions by yourself and you'll get the hang of it. You'll understand the meaning of house and home. House is a structure. Home is a place where you live. It's an adverb. In German, you call it Hause. And the way you say at home, to home, from home, it's in front of us, like zu Hause, nach Hause, von zu Hause. How do you say my home? You say bei mir zu Hause. How do you say to my home? You say zu mir nach Hause. Yes? Perfect. So, and if you're talking about the structure exclusively, we say in the house, like in dem Haus. We go in the house, in das Haus. Yes? You know. So with that done, I would say we meet us again with another exercise. Till then, this is John Berlin signing off.